In the comments of a previous video, somebody requested that I make a video on the evidence for the resurrection of Jesus, and this video is made in response to that request. This video is going to be an incredibly brief introduction to the academic literature surrounding this topic and should be used as a starting point for further research. I think that there are other strong sources of evidence for the resurrection of Jesus that come from things like the Shroud of Turin and modern miracles, but due to time restraints, I won't address those here. Typically, when scholars make an argument for the resurrection of Jesus, they use what's called an abductive argument, or an inference to the best explanation. In this style of argument, one lays out a set of facts to be explained and then argues that the resurrection of Jesus is the best explanation for these facts. The facts put forth for explanation vary from scholar to scholar. For instance, Mike Licona puts forth an argument for the resurrection using what he calls historical bedrock. Historical bedrock are facts that are so well attested by the evidence that almost all scholars, regardless of their religious affiliation, accept them as facts. And when I say almost all in this context, I literally mean something like 99% or close to that. Licona is extremely restrictive in the facts that he uses in his argument. And the idea here is that even if Christians restrict themselves heavily to only using the data that skeptics will grant us, we still have good evidence for the resurrection. For more on this style of argument, I suggest picking up Mike Licona's book, The Resurrection of Jesus, A New Historiographical Approach, or checking out some of his debates on YouTube. However, not all scholars are as restrictive in their selection of facts to be explained as Licona is. For instance, William Lane Craig presents an abductive case for the resurrection that includes facts that wouldn't count as Licona's historical bedrock, but are nonetheless still recognized by the majority of scholars and all enjoy extremely good evidence. Craig's facts are as follows. 1. After Jesus' death on the cross, he was buried by a member of the Jewish Sanhedrin named Joseph of Arimathea. 2. A few days after Jesus' death, his tomb was found empty by a few of his women followers. 3. Shortly after Jesus' death, both individuals and groups at varying times and locations had experiences that they believed to be of the risen Christ. 4. Jesus' disciples came to have a sincere belief that Jesus had resurrected, to the point that they were willing to die for this belief. In his work, Craig outlines the evidence for each fact and then argues that Jesus' resurrection explains these facts better than naturalistic explanations such as hallucination, legendary development, disciples lying, and so on. Craig has several layman-friendly chapters dedicated to this argument in his book titled On Guard, and has done a number of public debates that can be viewed on YouTube. Other scholars like Tim and Lydia McGrew take a maximalist approach, which argues that the Gospels as a whole are reliable and that we should accept the resurrection based on their testimony, based on the Gospel's testimony. Andrew Loke is a fantastic scholar who has a great book on this topic called Investigating the Resurrection of Jesus, a Transdisciplinary Approach, in which he presents a unique and refreshing strategy that I think is quite strong. This will conclude my introductory video on this topic. If any of my followers want more specific videos on this topic or any other type of topic, let me know in the comments.